Hello everyone, I'm Megan Sullivan, and take a deep breath, we are past the halfway point of 2023. And if you're like me, you've barely been able to keep up with all the amazing games coming out this year. Seriously, my backlog is getting ridiculous. But guess what? Starting in August, yes, I consider August a holiday since it's my birthday month, a second wave of huge game releases is going to crash into us holiday 2023, which means we're going to have to prioritize what games to play and which to leave for later. Everyone's list is going to be different, but I decided to share the 15 games, yes, 15 games, man, this year is stacked, I'm the most excited for going into the holidays. Make sure to list your most anticipated games in the comments section below. Now, keep in mind my list is organized by release date so that if any of the games interest you, you can easily follow along and mark them on your calendar. With that said, let's just jump into it. So, right out the gate is number 15, Baldur's Gate 3, which comes out August 3rd for PC and September 6th for the PlayStation 5. This game has been out for a while now on early access, but I wanted to wait until Larian Studios' RPG was nice and polished before playing it, and the game sounds like it will be worth the wait. Baldur's Gate 3 is said to be massive, with very deep RPG mechanics, and the feedback I'm getting is that fans will be spending an average of at least 70 to 100 hours in Baldur's Gate 3, which is why I'm glad the PC version has been pushed back to August, because that gives me a whole month before playing another huge RPG, which I'll talk about in a minute. But somehow I've got to juggle playing Baldur's Gate 3 with number 14 on the list, which is Armored Core 6: Fires of Rubicon. I will be totally honest with you guys, I don't normally care about mechs. I find robots and games about robots to be kind of drab, monochromatic, and quite frankly, boring. I don't want to spend hours tinkering in a garage looking at schematics, no thanks. But Armored Core 6 looks really cool and very, very polished. Not surprising since the developer is From Software, but what cinches it for me is all the praise early reviewers are pouring onto the game. One preview claims the game is surprisingly easy to pick up and play, you don't have to be a longtime fan to get the gist of it. Another claims the story missions are actually intriguing thanks to the constant chatter of NPCs. And yet another claims that though the game can be a challenge, the checkpoint system in Armored Core 6 feels fair. So I guess I'm a mech head now. Good thing, because all this practice with future tech will come in handy when I play another game I promise I will talk about in just a second. But before I go back to the future, I think I'll take a break and play number 13 on the list, which is Sea of Stars. This cute little turn-based RPG about dual heroes who can wield the power of the sun and the moon is set to launch on PlayStation consoles, Xbox consoles, and PC August 29th, and I for one am looking forward to it, especially since we now know the game will be available on both Game Pass and PlayStation Plus Extra Day 1. But I'm gonna have to finish Sea of Stars pretty fast if I want to squeeze in time for number 12 on the list, which is Rune Factory 3 Special, which comes out September 5th. Look, I'm a sucker for Rune Factory, and this remaster for the Nintendo Switch not only has a new Hell difficulty mode, but also features a new Newlywed mode that provides extra content for players once they get married and have a family. But really, Rune Factory 3 just gives me an excuse to get in some relaxing farming, fishing, mining, and dungeon crawling before I dive headfirst into what number are we on? 11, which is Starfield. Bethesda's massive open-world space epic is set to release on September 6th for Xbox and PC, and it looks awesome. I admit I wasn't quite on board with Starfield when it was first announced, just give me Elder Scrolls 6 already, but the gameplay demonstration we saw back in June convinced me this game will be worth my time. The weapons, the exploration, the biodiversity, and story possibilities are all intriguing. And hey, I admit I'm looking forward to all the crazy bugs and hiccups that come with a Bethesda game at launch. I mean, as long as my game doesn't totally crash or grind to a halt, Skyrim for the PlayStation 3, I'm looking at you. Okay, number 10 on the list is Lies of P. This tribute to both the Story of Pinocchio and Soulsborne games is aesthetically cool, feels really fun to play, and is really hard. I'd be lying if I said I will prioritize this game over other games like Starfield, but it's just so intriguing that I know at some point I'm gonna dive back into this dark, almost steampunk-like world. Lies of P definitely has my attention. Onward to number 9 on the list, which is Assassin's Creed Mirage. This action game comes out October 12th for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, and PC. If you know me, you know I love history, so of course I'll be getting this game, which takes place in the Middle Ages just outside of Baghdad. Now, what's interesting about Mirage is that it's returning to the series' roots, which means it'll probably ditch the RPG elements I like so much in Assassin's Creed Origins and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but still, I'm looking forward to learning about the history of this time period, and I want to see what the story is all about, so I can't wait to sneak around in Assassin's Creed Mirage. But what comes after Mirage? Well, number 8 on this list, which is Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 5, which comes out October 20th. This is another peculiar one on my list because although objectively I'm aware the original Spider-Man was an excellent game, I did in fact play it, the truth is I never finished it. For whatever reason, and I cannot tell you why, it just didn't completely click with me. So I wasn't really paying attention to the sequel. But just like with Starfield, once I saw more of the gameplay and story, I became pretty darn interested. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Miles and Peter are gonna get up to. But I'll be honest, Spidey's gonna have to take a backseat to number 7 on this list, which is Super Mario Bros. Wonder for the Nintendo Switch, which also comes out October 20th. It's been a long time since I've cared about a 2D scrolling platformer, but Super Mario Bros. Wonder is full of color, charm, smooth-looking mechanics, and you get to play as Daisy. How cool is that? I definitely am going to need a palate cleanser after playing a bunch of RPGs and action games, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder feels like the perfect game for that. Okay, so after that, I might have time to start number 6 on the list, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. That game drops October 24th. You know the only Metal Gear I've ever played is 5? I know, that's an egregious oversight, which is why I'm looking forward to Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, which allows me to correct my mistake by playing some of the original Metal Gear games. So, definitely looking forward to October 24th when the collection drops. But I admit I'm not going to have much time to dive into it because another game is hot on its heels, and that game is number 5 on the list, Star Ocean: The Second Story R, which comes out November 2nd. You know, this is another surprise on my list because I'm not actually a big Star Ocean fan. This series never clicked with me, but fans have assured me that this is one of the best games in the series, and the new remaster does look like a lot of fun. So I guess I'm diving into the ocean, Star Ocean that is. Alright, onward to number 4, which is Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. This Yakuza spin-off comes out on PlayStation consoles, Switch, and PC November 9th, and we don't know a whole lot about it, except that Kazuma Kiryu has faked his own death to escape the mob, but finds himself fighting bad guys once again because someone is trying to flush him out of hiding. Man, I can't wait to see where this game is going, and I don't have to wait too long because again, it comes out November 9th on pretty much everything. Now hopefully I can finish Like a Dragon, The Man Who Erased His Name quickly, because I gotta make space for number 3 on the list, which is Persona 5 Tactica, which comes out November 17th for basically everything. PlayStation, PC, Xbox, Switch, yeah, it's for everyone. This Mario Rabbids type game sees the Phantom Thieves once again in a wacky world fighting shadows but with tactical gameplay. I'm curious about this one for sure, and hopefully it'll be just as entertaining as the other Persona 5 spin-offs. But I might have to shelf this game for a while because on the same day, November 17th, number 2 drops, which is Super Mario RPG. Yes, this is the remaster we've all been waiting for, people. The music, the graphics, and of course the awesome turn-based action have all been updated and hopefully upgraded, and now we can play the popular RPG again in 2023. I can't wait. And finally, I'll be finishing out the year with number 1 on the list, Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, which is coming out December 1st for the Nintendo Switch. I don't know much about this game, but it looks a little dark and more mature, and I'm interested to see where it goes. Plus, people really seem to like Dragon Quest Monsters, so I'm going to give the game a chance. So there's my top 15 games based on the release date. So with that said, what games are you looking forward to? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you later.